So here we're making a graphical choose your own adventure where you're able to click on the screen to go from, I guess, node to node or portion of the story to portion of the story. And the first thing that you want to do is in the docs you can go to text graphics, right? And that's what you want to use to put your like title or beginning portion of their story onto the screen. And let's say we do that right here, right? And then the second thing you want to do is use images to add a button that you find on Google, right? Of course, transparent image of a button. And yeah, we could do it like this, right? Set the size, set the position, and all of that. And then if you do that, then you'll have this basically with like text right here. And now you want to be able to click on the first button and then go to the first part of the story, or click on the second button and go to the second part of the story. So what you want to do is go to the docs, of course, and here under mouse events we can look and we can see there's all these different mouse events that we can implement in our story, and the one that we want to choose is mouse click dot method, or mouse click method. And I guess we could do it right here after we print out our buttons. And the way the mouse click works is it's a listening event, meaning the start function is going to run quickly, like in a microsecond, and the mouse click method is on a loop that's always listening for a click on the screen, right? And when you do click on the screen, it's going to run whatever function you put here, right? So I'm going to put here Jack wakes, because that's the beginning of the story here, right? And yeah, when I click on the screen, it's going to run Jack wakes, right? So if I run this and I click on the screen, Jack wakes is not defined. So I guess we should go ahead and define it. And we'll say function Jack wakes, like that. And the mouse event the mouse events, all of them are special because they have a E parameter in the function definition, and the E lets you know or gives you information about where you clicked on the screen, right? So you could do things like E.get X, that gives you the X position of where you clicked, and E.get Y, that gives you the Y position of where you clicked on the screen. So using that information, we can go back over here to the docs and we could say miscellaneous. Under miscellaneous, there is this bit of code here, right? And so I'm going to grab that code because that's what we're going to use, paste it right here. And what does it do? Well, get element at gets the graphical element that's at this X and this Y position, right? And notice we have E.getX, E.getY, which means this position here is where you clicked on the screen. So element, the variable element, is going to be equal to the object that I clicked on, okay? And if I click on white blank space, then get element at is going to return null. Null means nothing, empty, right? And then element's going to equal to null. But if I click on the button, then element's going to be equal to a button image object. Okay, so then I'm over here, and I could say if elem is not equal to null. That means I got something. I got some kind of an object. And you could say elem is equal to choice 1, right? So basically, did I click on the first button is what this branch statement is asking. And notice here that I made choice 1 and choice 2 global. Why? Because I need it here in the start function. I need to also access it here in the Jack wakes function. So then right here, we're going to run something like Jack climbs. Maybe he starts to climb the beanstalk, right? In this part of the story. And we can have an else if, and we can have like the same branch here. But this is going to be choice 2. And then this might be something like Jack sleeps, right? Gets lazy and doesn't want to climb the beanstalk. And yeah, so then we're going to say function Jack climbs, and then in function Jack climbs, what do you need to do? You need to get this text object that was used here, right? Which means that I need to make my text object global, and I need to reset its text to, I think it's right here. Yeah, I need to reset its text using setText, right? So take that previous text object, set its text to a new text that prints out the Jack climbs portion of the story. So I'm going to say here setText to new part of story, and then what? Oh, and then I am going to, well, the mouse click method is continuing to listen, Okay, and when I click on button 1, it's going to run Jack Wakes. When I click on button 2, it's going to run Jack Wakes. So yeah, we could get kind of crazy. Well, I don't know, I'm not sure. There's two ways you could do this. I guess the best way to do it would be to run the mouse click method again and run it with a different function. So let's see, we're gonna say mouse click method, and this is gonna be climb beanstalk, right? So you can only have one mouse click method running at a time. So this one's running when we first start, right? We click on the first button, then it runs Jack climbs, and then it runs mouse click method climb. So now the click method is listening for a click, and if it does hear a click, it's not going to run Jack Wakes, it's going to run Jack climb, or it's going to run climb. Okay, so you can basically take this same function and paste it over here, call it climb, and you can change up the functions that are run, right? And that way you can go from node of your story to node of your story, or from page of your story to page of your story, by reiterating what I was just talking about, where you have two buttons. If you click on one, it runs one function. If you click on another, it runs another function. And when you do run that first function, it's going to set a new mouse click method, rewrite the story, set a new mouse click method, and then that new mouse click method is going to run one part of the story, or it's going to run the second part of that node's offered branches, right? So that's the blueprint for how to get a graphical click your way down the adventure story.